Hello, all. Welcome to Everyday Experts. I am your host, Sir Joker, Achille, Mr. Joker, whatever you would like to dub me as. Welcome back. It's been a little bit of a break. We are here with a part deux. I believe this is it my first repeat? Yes, I believe. She is my first repeat guest of the series so far. Episode, what is this, 31, 32, something like that? I believe this is 31, 34, episode 34. I have the newly minted instructor of young minds, the manipulator, the Professor X, if you will. She is adept student, very learned, very good at trivia things, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different stuff from the first episode because it wouldn't be me if it wouldn't be different. We're going to talk about the Diversion. We're going to do the Diversion quiz with Sina. She doesn't know what that is, and that's what I like it. So, without further ado, the illustrious, the eloquent, the newly graduated Miss Sina Bigelow.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás? That's the only Spanish I know. Don't ask me to speak anymore.
Nada. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
I'm doing all right.
Got a lot of new things going on in your life?
I mean, just a little. I can never figure out which hand of this one. This guy right here.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
I love it.
She did.
So we will get to that. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Ordered a lot of hard work. I know your toes on the finish line. You haven't quite crossed it, but your toes there.
Yes. I'm this close. I got past one certification test, and then me and my advisor are still finishing up some finer details of my evidence portfolio. So, but hopefully by Monday, if I bust my butt this weekend, I can get it done and still have to take the stupid test.
Got faith in you.
Thank you.
So, we normally do the werewolf question, but I can't do that because I already asked you. So what I'm going to ask you is if you could be any variant of yourself in the multiverse.
Oh, no.
What would your variant be? I'll give you a minute to think about it. That's a hard question.
I was going to say something, but it sounded like a way more depressing than I would ever mean
That's
it
all
to
right.
be.
This is your platform.
I was gonna say the variant that's happy, but I'm pretty damn happy these days.
Okay.
But probably a variant that I don't know. I was gonna say a variant that didn't have to go through mental health stuff, but like I wouldn't be me if I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say that.
Of course you can. I like that. The variant that didn't have to go through mental health stuff, although all of us do.
I mean, she has her shit together.
What would that variant do as a profession other than teaching?
Oh, she probably would have said, F all y'all, I'm going to culinary school. Because I used to and still love to cook, but I didn't have the support from my parents because usually when you make something for the first time, you fuck it up. And I fucked up a lot when I first started cooking, and they let me know it. And so I got discouraged, and I didn't want to do it anymore. And it wasn't until, honestly, after my grandma passed away, and when I lived on my own, and I had to cook for myself, that I discovered why she loved to cook for us, and why I love to cook for myself, and just kind of like found that passion of food. And I still have that. I've always had that. So I would be a cook.
Very good answer. Look at you coming out firing today. I like it.
Thank you.
Very nice. You did say something that I did want to touch upon. You did say that you got discouraged. And
Yes.
you touch
Doesn't take
upon that
much.
quite often. Um, how did you kind of develop your stick with it? Your ability to just like kind of, I gotta persevere, I gotta get past this.
Oh Lord, I did we talk about 2016 last time?
Let's talk about 2016.
Okay, so 2016 easily in my 28 years of life was the single hardest year of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my best friend, lost my boyfriend, lost my grandma, lost my school, as in I was kicked out of school,
Mm-hmm.
and damn near lost my mind. And I think that the linchpin of it was school, because this damn it, this was not the first time I went for
Mm-hmm.
my degree in elementary education. That actually came damn near 6 years ago when I was trying to get my teaching degree as an undergrad. So I enrolled at Central Washington University in one of the single worst programs that I've ever been in my life,
Mm-hmm.
because you couldn't just do elementary ed, you had to have an endorsement, and
Mm-hmm.
none of the classes were cross-listed, and you had to main a B average in both sets of classes, and it basically felt like you were doing two majors for one degree.
Ooh.
And I did that for 2 years and stopped giving a shit. I stopped caring. I stopped caring about
Mm-hmm.
myself. My mental health took a turn. My relationship ended, and my grades took a turn. And I was subsequently suspended, academically suspended. I didn't know until later that they suspended me for a class that didn't count, but we'll get to that point. So like, winter 2016, January, I go to school only to be kicked out of school and go home. So I spent those 6 months from January up until May just kind of really trying to figure my shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know this. And before I left to go home at the end of January, my advisor had sat me down and she's like, we can fight this, because they had suspended me for a optional quarter, because you have the three mandatory ones: fall,
Mm-hmm.
winter, and spring, and then summer is an optional quarter where you can take classes to move your program on a little
Mm-hmm.
faster. And I had done that and gotten a C- in the class, unfortunately. And they had counted that toward the reason why they were suspending me. So we came up with a plan. I was going to go home. I was going to try to get my shit together, go to mental health counseling, do whatever I needed to do on my end.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to help me try to write a letter of appeal to the disciplinary board so that I can be reinstated, because you're only supposed to be suspended for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So those 6 months when I was at home, I was going back and forth between Ellensburg and Bothell, like working with my advisors. I was taking classes at the community college, writing classes,
Mm-hmm.
which helped me a great deal. And just trying to work through it with my advisor. It wasn't until like May of that year, I got a phone call from the head of the disciplinary board scolding me and saying that, no, she was like pissed. She was so mad. And she's like, just because you have friends in high places doesn't mean you can skirt the rules. And I had no idea what the hell she was talking about.
Oh, wow.
I had, worked with Dr. Cummings. I'd gone back and forth almost once every 2 weeks to meet with her and tell her where I'm at. Here's all my notes of what I've done. Here are notes from my psychologist, and my counselor, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And this really angry white lady called to yell at me and told me that I can't skirt the rules. And I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And so I hang up with her and I'm sitting there just kind of dazed and confused. I'm like, what the hell was that about? And I got a call immediately from my advisor and she's like, I have some good news.
Mm-hmm.
And I interrupted her and I'm like, was I reinstated? And she's like, how do you know? And I then told her I got the phone call. And she's like, why don't we meet this weekend and we can discuss this?
Oh.
And so I was able, with the help of my advisor and their blessing and the help of the provost of the university at the time, I was able to be reinstated within 6 months and got right back to taking classes that summer. So that's part of 2016.
I get it, girl. I want to take a second to say hello to the people in the chat.
Yes.
Engineer extraordinaire, Mr. Munoz.
Yes.
My lovely, darling, wonderful wife. Hey, Patty. Hey, Boo.
Hi, Pat. Patty or Pat or Patricia?
Patty.
Patty. Hi, Patty.
I call her everything. I call her other names. Mr. Kramer, aka Big Texas. What's up, brother? How good to see you
Hi, Austin.
in the stands.
I'm leaving like I know where you are.
That's okay. She said hi to you. Wow, you got a hello.
I got a hello.
She don't do people, so.
Neither do I some days.
Also, I want to touch. We would in the pre-show.
Yes.
You made an interesting statement about your hair, and this is not me poking at. I do know that I know when you are, what's the word? Biracial.
Yes.
You don't always grow up with a parent who knows how to do hair the correct way, blah, blah, blah. How did you find your I don't want to say love affair. How did you find yourself appreciation of your Black culture?
Oh my God, it took so long.
Because your dad
my dad's Black, my mom's Vietnamese. And Black. Unfortunately, the parent that could help me with my hair didn't have any. So it was a lot of my mom like Googling what Black women are supposed to look like and then imparting that wisdom on me. Mm-hmm. And none of it really sat well with me because I grew up in an area white people community. I was like I said last time, the speck of pepper on a table full of salt. So it was hard for me to relate to the pictures that I saw that my mom showed me, and she's like, here's what we could do with your hair, and I'm like, no, I don't like that. I didn't have any other ideas, so we did just about everything you could do to damage my hair. Straighteners, so heat treatment, straighteners, relaxers. Yeah, it was bad. And my first year of college, before I went to college, my mom had been berating me for my entire senior year of high school to cut my hair before I went off to college. Cut your hair would look so cute. So you could rock it. Look at these pictures. You could do really good. And I'm like, fine, shut up. Let's cut my damn hair. And so we cut it, and I've been, granted, I have trimmed it since then, and I've definitely had a period where I wasn't best taking care of myself, 2016. So it didn't grow all that much, but it's been growing out now pretty solid for the past several years. And I'm really, really proud of the length that it's been at.
It looks good.
Taking care of it.
Looks good. Taking care of it. That's what matters.
Yes.
Who did you see in movies or TV that you kind of resonated with, that looked like you or you connected with?
All the Asian characters. Mulan.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Ming-Na Wen is a huge part of my childhood. From Mulan to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to now in Star Wars, I related to her a lot. But I think it wasn't until I got to college where I saw people like Kerry Washington or Viola Davis. I'm like, can I be them when I grow up? Can I do that? So it took me a minute to realize that the tone of my skin is something to be celebrated and not tolerated. So I just needed to see that.
Do you think you identified with the Asian side because your mom was Asian and that's what you kind of emulated?
Yeah, well, that's what I grew up around, because I didn't grow up around my dad's family. So I didn't really grow to appreciate that until I was in college, quite frankly. So, which it's a long time to not appreciate the color of your skin. It can mess you up a little bit. But,
must have been hard.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. No picnic.
How did when you got around other coloreds, how did they treat you?
It's weird because like I said, I was like the only like one, and I was light skinned, and a lot of the other brown skinned kids were darker skinned. So it's almost like I was just Black enough to hang out with the white kids, but too white to hang out with the Black kids. So I had nowhere to go. I had no table to sit at. So I'm just out here dancing on my own, eating my orange chicken, living my best life, or trying to. And just, yeah.
I love it. So as promised, we're going to talk about the Diversion Series. I think it's... Okay, so I'm going to tell you why. And I know it's a curveball for you, but...
A little bit. I only know MCU shit.
You'll get it.
Okay.
So Summarized in the Diversion Series, it's about society divided among assigned factions and a girl who doesn't fit into any of them. The moral force of it's books, but it's
I
all.
see why you picked this.
The moral force of the book lies in the constant reminder that you should always, under all circumstances, make decisions for yourself rather than letting society dictate these decisions to you.
Right.
They break society up into 5 factions, okay? And this is the hard one. As you can guess, erudite is one. There's abnegation, which is selflessness. Amity, which is peacefulness. Candor, which is honesty. Dauntless, which is brave. And the erudite, which is intellectual. Then there's one that's called a divergent, which is kind of like a mix of all of them.
Like the Avatar. I didn't watch Avatar either.
I never saw the movie Avatar.
Me neither. I didn't see the show. I didn't see the movie. I just know like he's like one rolled up into one. That's all I know. Come at me.
Tell people to come at you, right? Get at me, dog. So we're gonna do the quiz.
Okay.
We're gonna figure out which faction you are, and then we're gonna discuss, and then we're gonna figure out if it's right or wrong.
Okay.
It's sort of like Harry Potter.
Oh, I know Harry Potter.
I don't.
Do you get out of your house?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Blink twice if you need help.
My wife. Every night. When you are faced with a difficult problem, you react by A, making a list of pros and cons, and then choosing the best option that the evidence best supports. Do you create a work of art that expresses your feelings about the situation? Doing whatever will be the best thing for the greatest number of people. Debate the issue with your friends or face it head on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I feel like in different facets of my life, I've done all of those things.
Okay.
Fuck. Okay. Do you want me to answer as like me currently?
Yeah.
Okay. After having been what I've been through to get, damn it, every time to get that, I feel like I had to learn how to tackle things better because sometimes I would get really stressed out about it and get overwhelmed prior to actually figuring out what the hell the problem actually is. So, I probably would like not even make a list of pros and cons, but like just make like a checklist of like, because I do that in my day-to-day now because my brain does not operate on all cylinders all the time.
Of course it does.
I need to write shit down. So I usually make a checklist of like, okay, I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to fold my clothes. I'm going to make my bed. And
so we'll go and make a list of pros and cons.
Probably, yeah. Okay. That's what I would do.
Hello, Mr. Nails. You're wrong. Hello, Mr. Miller. Thank you for...
Jimmy's here. Hi, Jimmy.
Jimmy, we're talking about Divergent.
Jimmy and Jeremy.
You most want your friends and family to see you as someone who is willing to make sacrifices and help anyone in need. Or 2, is liked by everyone. 3, is trustworthy. 4, will protect them no matter what happens. Or 5, offers wise advice.
Fuck. I'm saying fuck a lot because my brain's not firing on all cylinders.
That's okay.
Oh, Lord. I think trustworthy.
Trustworthy.
I think being the child of my parents and being their offspring and learning from them, I did a lot of dumb shit when I was a kid. Not like super dumb, like drugs or drinking or anything like that. Just like a lot of stuff that like tried to... I was not the most honest child. That has obviously changed. And I have a great rapport with my parents now, but like definitely trustworthy, I think. They want to believe that I can handle shit. And I can handle shit because I'm going to get it right by the end of the show.
You got it.
Yeah. So.
I like it. If you had to select one of the following options as a profession, which would you choose? A judge, a firefighter, a scientist, a farmer, or a humanitarian?
Why do you say humanitarian?
I'm trying to will you to pick.
But why?
This is your quiz. We can discuss any of the places after.
What about humanitarian screams that to you for me?
Because I feel like a humanitarian is just like a teacher.
I think that might be the closest thing to teaching, but like also judge doesn't sound half bad.
No,
but
I can
like
see you being a judge.
yeah, throwing the
Because I can
hammer
see you
down.
being a lawyer, totally.
I would be such a pansy ass lawyer. Oh my god, I'd be like, yep, you win. Sorry,
Right.
sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I've seen you when you get feisty and you're defending yourself. You would not do that. That's erroneous. You're sitting on the throne of lies.
I will. Okay, if we're throwing judge and lawyer into the same category, I'm gonna say judge, only because when those who know me, like if they need me to be at bat for them, like they just need to text me and ask me where to hide the body. Like I got you. So I think judge might be the best call. Maybe I hate this so much.
I put judge. I still think it'd be a humanitarian. What activity would you most likely find yourself doing on an unexpected day off? Rock climbing or skydiving. No, black people don't skydive.
No.
Volunteering, reading, of course, sharing opinions with your friends, or something artistic, painting, dancing, or writing.
Something artistic, because I do that now on my days off, because I have days off now. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. I didn't have days off for the past year and a half, so.
So you would be doing what?
Something artistic. Painting,
Like it.
doing a giant puzzle on my floor, stuff like that.
When choosing your outfit for the day, you select A, whatever will attract the least amount of attention, something that will not distract or inhibit you from what you have to do that day. 3, something comfortable but interesting to look at. 4, whatever will attract the most attention. And 5, something that's simple but still expresses your personality.
You know me. When you asked me to come on the show the first time, I asked why. So probably something that won't attract a lot of attention. And will just get me through that day. I think the 5th one you said, whatever that was.
Something that's simple but still expresses your personality.
Yes.
Yup. If you discovered that a friend's significant other was being unfaithful, you would tell your friend ASAP. You can't imagine keeping that knowledge secret. 2, confront the cheater. 3, sit them both down and act as a mediator while they talk it over. Let's do that. That's no fun. 4, keep it to yourself. Statistics prove your friend will find out eventually. Or 5, tell your friend it's unhealthy for them to be in a relationship where such selfish behavior is present.
I'm telling them immediately.
You be the mediator.
No, I'm telling them quickly. I'm like, hey, he's doing you dirty, sis. You need to cut ties and.
Oh, so you would tell your friend ASAP?
Oh yeah.
Or would you tell your friend it's unhealthy for them to be in a relationship where such selfish behavior is present?
As soon as possible.
Huh?
I would tell them ASAP. Because, that's my person you're messing with. That's my friend. And if you want to mess with them, I know where to hide bodies. So.
Oh. That's the second time you referred to hiding bodies. What would you say is your highest priority in life right now? Success in work or school? Finding peace and happiness for yourself? Seeking truth in all things? Serving those around you? Or developing strength of character? Ooh, that's a tough one. Oh, can you bring up Jimmy's comment, please, Mr. Munoz?
What did he say? I need time to think.
What's with the assumption that it's a man cheating, Sina? Woo!
Okay, because I was just talking with my uncle about dating and shit, and we got into it, and yeah, not into it as in we fought, but into it as in dating sucks. That's a story. That's a trip.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we'll get there.
I know. Thank you, Jimmy, for distracting me from answering this freaking question. I don't always assume that men are the cheaters. I know some unsavory ladies out there too. So, but
what's your highest priority in life right now?
Finishing this stupid degree.
Still success in work or school?
Yeah. That stupid test, man. I missed it. I've taken it twice now. Because it's in 2 portions, and you have to take the reading and science one, and then reading and social studies, math and science. Pass the reading and social studies one with the lowest score possible, because you need a 220 to pass. Your girl got 220. And then when I took the math and science one the first time, I got 214. 216. And when I took it the second time, I got 213. So The more
All
to
right,
nurse.
your results are in.
Oh,
I'm a little surprised what you got.
okay.
Your results are you would be in Candor, which is the honest faction. You're honest with everyone, no matter how difficult it is, and no matter how much trouble it gets you into. You aren't easily offended and would prefer to hear the truth even if it hurts. You believe that if everyone could be honest and forthright with each other, the world would be a much better place. Other people sometimes see you as insensitive, but also trustworthy and confident.
I'm a vote. That's a hard no. No.
You
I
don't
disagree with that wholeheartedly.
all of it or the end?
The confident thing, yeah, no. But
I think you have quiet confidence. Because if I asked you MCU questions, you would have all the confidence in the world.
Yeah, but that's stuff I know. You ask me how to make pad thai, I can tell you how to do it off the top of my head.
That's not confident?
No, that's just study and practice. That's something
That's
I've done 1,000 times. I can do it in my sleep.
That's confidence, though.
We're gonna agree to disagree on that one. I don't think it's confidence. I'm not confident about a lot of things. You know this.
But it's my show, so what I say goes. So you would be Candor. I like it.
I'm the guest, though.
Because I feel like you're very honest. I don't know that you see the complexities of your honesty, because honesty is an intricate thing.
Yeah.
But you also don't like to give yourself credit for anything. So
no. Well, I like to think I'm more honest than I used to be, especially with like working through mental health shit and like being honest with yourself about your feelings. That's really hard. Like you don't want to gaslight yourself for 20 some odd years of your life. That's not healthy. So
I like gaslighting myself. It's not bad. Can you bring up Mr. Nails' comment, please, Matt? Which is what leads to confidence. Thank you. Boom. Jimmy was right about something. Hold on. Stop the show. Mr. Nails was correct about something. And we agree.
Well, this has been great. Thank you so much for having me.
I don't know what's going to happen now. This hasn't happened. Me and Mr. Nails actually agree on principle about a lot of stuff. Just the way he gets there is little, anyway.
So Candor.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Listen, you teach.
I do.
You espouse knowledge and wisdom. It's a lot more honesty involved in that than people give you credit for.
I had to be really candorous with my kiddos yesterday, which was that was a trip. After I finished my student teaching, I started subbing, and so I occasionally would go back and sub for my kids. Mm-hmm. But I end up working on Fridays because teachers need 3-day weekends because we're tired all the time. Mm-hmm. And so I subbed for my kiddos yesterday, and it was just about survival. It was rough. It was a little rough. So I literally had to sit them down and be like, let's just think about the choices we're making and if they're good choices.
Let's start over here. Let's think about this.
Let's think about it. I literally had them put their heads down and like just shut up for like 2 minutes and be like, let's just take a moment to breathe. Let's think, are we making good choices? Are we being kind to our friends? Are we, listening, following instructions? Are we using classroom volume? Because they weren't. And I love my kids. I will go back and see them not every day of the week, but like as much as I obviously have been and can. But yesterday was a really difficult day for them. I think it's because their teacher wasn't there. It was their birthday. It was her birthday. That's why she wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And they were just really happy to see me, and I'm always happy to see them. I adore them. But it was a rough day yesterday. I had to get a little mean. I had to. I didn't have a choice.
Oh, you had to be candorous, huh? Interesting.
A little bit.
Oh, interesting. All right, back to the fun. Now, I need Sina in my life to do that for me. No, you don't.
What do you want me to do?
He wants somebody to be honest with him, but he can't handle it. Jimmy needs the cornucopia, the paucity of voices that tell him different things in his head.
Jimmy, you want me to be honest with you? You're a wonderful, beautiful human being, and I'm
no.
There's the honesty. There it is.
He's not. I love him to death. He's a pain.
I do too.
He's like the annoying little brother you want to step on his toe. So let's get to the big news. So what has happened recently that, I know you keep pointing over your shoulder.
I do.
So how does that feel? What is it like?
Oh, well, the day of, I'm not gonna lie, I was in not a good mood. I think it's because not even 2 days before graduation, when I thought everything that aside from the test
Mm-hmm.
that I took the day before graduation, which was stupid of me because I thought I was
Mm-hmm.
gonna be able to pass it and then celebrate all the things. Not only did I not pass the test, but my advisor messaged me 2 days before graduation and said that my portfolio wasn't done and that we still needed to work on it. So I had that looming over my shoulder right before I took the test, and then I took the test and missed it by 7 points. So I had that looming over my shoulder. So that Friday I did not sleep, and that Saturday I was not in a very celebratory mood. I was very cranky, and
Mm.
I legit called my parents and told them, I'm like, you sure you guys want to come? This is not it's not worth it at this point. I'm sad and depressed. I don't have the mental wherewithal to put on a fake smile and pretend to be happy.
Or you
I
should
just
have messaged me. I would have straightened that right up.
I know. But I I
Uh-huh.
know.
Uh-huh.
But I was not happy because I still had shit to do and I was so pissed that like
I'm gonna quote
I didn't want to
Mr.
do it. I didn't
Glenn
want to celebrate.
Caesar or the other Glenn Caesar. Be here now, not there then. You have to learn to celebrate yourself too and be in your moment of happiness.
It wasn't a moment of happiness. It was
You
frustrating.
don't think you were. It doesn't matter what you still made the accomplishment.
Yeah, I think that Saturday, and my mom straightened that out real quick. She's like, "Shut up! Don't feel your feelings. We're coming either way." I'm like, "Are you sure? It's not worth it." Like I already cried
Good.
twice that morning. I was not in a celebratory mood. I did not want to do it. I did not have the mental energy to try to fake a smile and like pretend to be happy that I did this accomplish this big thing when I still had like the two things that were holding me back from actually getting certified are this stupid portfolio and this stupid ass test.
But you will
And
do it.
I know.
I know you know. So act like you know. Period. Like you young people say.
I want to do it now. I want it to be done.
Okay, and you have to still do it. Like it's still a path you have to walk.
Yeah.
Celebrate yourself.
But I did do it, and I got to meet a lot of my cohorts, which was really nice. And
That's awesome.
I got when my professors were putting the hood on my shoulders, I literally turned up and I'm like, "Hi, it's nice to finally meet you," because I'd never met any of them in person because we did all this online for the past 2 years. So that was nice, but like my overall mood, like that morning of, was just foul. Like the only word I could describe it is just I was in a foul mood. I didn't want to do any form of celebrating. I just wanted to curl up in my bed and just watch TV all day and not even worry about graduation. But kind of cranky. I was very
That's
cranky.
all right. Put some golden stars in the chat for Sina for her graduation. Let's big her up. Show us some love.
It was hard. It was hard past 2 years. I finished this degree in 3 different zip codes.
But you
finished? I started in Oregon, and then I ended up in Washington.
Say what you said again. You did what?
I did this degree.
You finished this degree what?
In 3 different zip codes.
I don't care about the end. Focus on the beginning. 3, 4, 5 different zip codes. You did it.
Yeah.
Think about the little Black girls and little Filipino girls and Asian girls that are gonna look up to you and be like, "Oh my God."
Spanish girls. A lot of my kids in my class have skin that are darker than mine.
Yep. That's how it goes nowadays. You don't know.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. It was a good day overall. Like
of course
once I got there and like I saw my classmates and saw some of my professors, and I had the card for my kiddos with me so that they got to walk across the stage with me. So I couldn't hold it while I was getting hooded because I had to hold my hood and the name card so that they can say my name correctly. So I stuffed the card in my boot so that they could walk with me. And yeah, so they were with me that day, and once I got there, I think my mood lightened up a little bit. But that morning,
there's a question that'll put you in the feels. What would your grandmother say to you about you graduating?
Good job. Because she wasn't there with me at my college graduation either. But like,
what would she have said if she was there with you when you were getting your degree the other day?
She'd be happy. I think she loved seeing her grandkids do well, and I'm proud of the fact that I know I'm making her proud and that I'm doing her legacy well so far. I think. I don't know. Can't say the same for my cousins, but
Doesn't matter. Cream rises to the top.
Yeah, she'd be happy. I think she also would just be happy to celebrate something because she loved parties. She loved parties and loved because she got to cook and she got to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So and food was her favorite thing.
Part of parties.
Yeah, food was
That's
her
what
favorite
it's about.
thing. I'm letting you know right now. When I pass my test and when I finish my stupid portfolio, I'm throwing a freaking rager. It's gonna be a party. We're gonna have food. It's gonna be great, and probably beverages.
I love it.
I told my parents, I'm like, I'm not doing this again. So we're throwing an actual graduation party, and we're gonna throw down, and so
now we can talk about Marvel and movies, or we can talk about dating. Which one do you prefer?
Oh, let's talk about Doctor Strange. It was so good.
Okay, so then we'll talk about dating first. We'll end with Doctor Strange.
You're an asshole.
All day, every day. You said dating in 2022 sucks.
So that wasn't the only thing that changed since we last talked. I am single. I think I was single last time too, but more recently so.
I think you had just gotten single.
Yeah. So recently. So now it's been a couple months and I've been sitting with it and I've made the passive effort to download some stupid ass dating apps and put myself back out there. Like, it literally says on my profile, this is my first time here, be nice to me. Like, that's how unsure of this I am.
Are they being nice to you?
I've had some nice people, some really bizarre interactions, some conversations that start with like, hi, how are you? I'm good. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. How was your day? It was good. Like, those kind of conversations drive me nuts. Ugh, they make me crazy because it's like,
is it hard being smarter than most of the people that like you or try to talk to you?
I wouldn't say I'm smarter. I just
of course you wouldn't say. I said it.
Why though?
Because you're probably smarter than most of the guys that are trying to talk.
Well, it's just like the level of like, no, I don't know how even to describe it. Linguistic integrity, like being able to hold a conversation and like keep my interest is really difficult given my brain doesn't function most days. So the hi, how are you conversations, I get so bored with so quickly. And it's not even me being an asshole or me being like, oh, this guy's boring as shit. It's not them, it's me. I promise.
Oh, it's them. Yeah,
it's me. Because I like being, I was gonna say titillated, but I don't think that's the right word. Intrigued by conversations. And
let's say stimulated.
Stimulated. There we go.
Yeah, stimulated.
Yes.
And that must be hard.
My attention. Have a conversation with me. Like, let's keep it going. No awkward pauses. Like, the hi, how are yous, like, make me want to jump out a window. Like, I can't do it. I sound like such a bitch. Holy crap.
I don't know what's going on. Can you bring up what Jimmy said? I don't know why Jimmy... I definitely disagree with that statement. But that is... No. Let me finish. Not for you, in context of you. I tell people this all the time. I very rarely think people are smarter than me. But that's a me thing. But that's how I had to... So... When I grew up in a school that was predominantly of the Caspian Mountain variety, so it was always, if I didn't show that I was the best, then you kind of got lost in the front, being the one speckle of pepper in the pound of sugar. You know what I mean?
Life. Yeah.
So I've always had that belief that I'm, if not the smartest, one of the smartest in the room. That doesn't mean that other people aren't smart.
Yeah.
My wife's very smart. She just doesn't like to, act like it. She's very smart too. She's on par with my intellectual acumen.
She has to be smart if she has to put up with you.
Say that again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. She has to be smart if she has to put up with me.
See, you heard me.
What do you mean put up with me? I love when people say, so let me ask you, what do you mean put up with me?
I learned from my last relationship. See, I'm circling back. that there's a lot of stuff if you want to be with that person, you have to tolerate. And or you have to let those things go because they're either not going to change or the person doesn't see it as a problem and they don't want to change. Granted, the last person I was with was the man who I thought I was going to marry, and it
wasn't your fault.
It was not my fault.
You're definitely smarter than him. Like on your worst day, drunk, inebriated, passed out, you're smarter than him.
We're gonna agree to disagree on that because I feel like there was a good dichotomy of balance between the two of us. There was some stuff that he knew better than I did, and there was some stuff that I knew better than he did. But
except the whole being a human being and interacting with his girlfriend part. You're right, though.
Yeah,
besides
exactly.
The rest of it.
So,
well, there's also the idea of EQ or emotional intelligence versus IQ, and some people are very intelligent.
Oh yeah.
Dumb when it comes to people. They're dense, vapid. I like that word.
Yes.
Can you bring up Jimmy's comment, please, Mr. Munoz? She can't be that smart. She chose you. Okay, Jimmy.
Lady.
That's okay. Well, she's smart enough because she didn't respond to your comment. So, anyway. All right. So that's dating 2022.
Yes, it's weird and I hate it. And
Sina's single. She's currently on the market. She's looking
Don't say it like that.
She needs 4 degrees prerequisite for you to acquire 1 hour of dating time. That also involves me doing a screening process, just so you know.
That's true. A lot of my potential partners I tell you about first and be like, is this guy good? Then you'll see yeah or nah. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna not do We're gonna try to not do spoilers.
That's hard though.
I know. We're going to. If anybody did not see Doctor Strange 2 and doesn't want to know anything about it, I would suggest that they drop off for the last 15 minutes as me and Tina want to talk about the strangeness of Strange. Overall thoughts on Doctor Strange 2?
I went to go see it by myself and I don't think I slept that night.
Why? You thought it was scary?
I'm a bitch when it comes to horror movies. I'm such a wuss. Like, I don't, and like, are we going full blown spoilers now?
No, not yet. I was going to ask you, but if I have to get jokers, put that up.
No, don't.
Yeah, put it up. I got you, Sina. Put it up, please, Matt. Sir. That's a hard no for me, dog. That's okay. We're not going full blown spoilers. Let's overall impression first. I did think it had a lot of good horror elements. You're correct. Yes.
And I'm a wuss when it comes to those things. So
when it came out the mirror, that part was so dope.
No.
That part was so dope.
I'm sitting there. There's like a row of dudes behind me, like probably like high school age, frat boy-ish, douchey type people. And I'm sitting there like as she's like coming out the mirror and like doing her like twisting her body and shit. I'm literally sitting with my knees in my chair, just like like one of those things. Like I'm Josh McCouga level bad. Like it's bad. It's
boy.
And I don't F with horror movies at all. I watched the first 4 minutes of It Chapter 1 and I had to pause it because I couldn't handle it. Like
Chapter 1 is scarier than 2. It's better than 2 too. I think 2 was dragged it.
But I watched it because I love those actors and I love Pennywise. Like he's one of my favorite horror characters. But like I had to watch it in the daytime in the middle of the week with my boyfriend at the time, like with all the lights on.
Okay. You watched it?
I watched it. We made it through. It wasn't easy, but we made it through.
Are there any horror movies you're looking forward to coming up?
There was one that I saw.
Men?
That sounded cool. I don't remember what it was.
A24?
Maybe. Chekhov's Corpse?
Chekhov's Corpse? What is that?
What that is.
I don't even know what that means. Jimmy has these these esoteric, deep movies that he watches. And what are you talking about? I don't even know what that is.
I think there's
Chekhov
a Jordan
from
Peele
Star
movie.
Trek.
Pavlov Chekhov.
Um,
But yeah, no, it was a good movie. I liked it a lot. I think it is. It felt like how Age of Ultron felt, where it was like setting up a bigger universe or like bigger stuff to come down the line. That's how it felt like after leaving it and sitting it with it for a couple days and like watching all the spoiler reviews. That's how it felt to me. But like I didn't mind it. I thought they did really well. They had a lot of pandemic related changes that happened during that movie, so I think they navigated that really well too.
Yes, and it was. I do think that they put they tried to get a lot of story in.
Yeah.
And I do think that was hard. I was watching. I don't remember what YouTube I was watching, and they were saying that it was Jeremy Johns, and he was saying
yes.
I love him. He's awesome.
I met him. He's so nice.
He seems like he's nice.
Yeah.
Long hair or short hair?
Long hair.
Okay. No, I mean when he had long hair, when he had short hair.
I met him twice. So once he had long hair, and then once he had short hair.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's really cool.
He was saying that what he doesn't like about the Marvel series is that I think he said it's starting to become a little scattered. It's like a little all over the place. I do think that they're spreading it out so much that what was good about it was that it was contained.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're not going to be able to contain it anymore. Just because of the...
Well, remember when Iron Man first came out, no one had any idea what was going on. There was no established universe to build off of or set up, or there wasn't any, like, the Avengers 2012 was the first big, like, crossover event type thing. And that was a huge gamble because they didn't know if it was going to work or not. So I think now that the MCU is, like, firmly established as what it is, I think trying to build within the universe is going to get a little crazy, but it's going to get real niche and real fast, and it's either going to pull people in or push people out. I think those who are diehards, like myself, are going to be in for the long haul because we know that it's a process. It takes a while.
Yeah.
To build up this universe. It took 5 years to get to the first big team-up movie, so I'm willing to wait.
Well, now every movie's a big team-up movie, so that's good.
Yeah. Wait, what did you say?
Now every movie's a big team-up movie.
Oh, yeah.
Good. What did you think of Moon Knight? Side note, I know we're going there.
I love Oscar Isaac and whatever he does, so I'm a little biased, but he's my favorite actor.
I'm struggling to get through Moon Knight.
Why? It's so good. I loved it.
I've tried to watch episode 3 5 times already. I've fallen asleep 3 times, and my brain won't let me do it.
It definitely takes a little bit of work to get through, but what I loved about it was that it was a character-driven story, not like action-oriented, I want to see Moon Knight kick ass type thing, which is kind of shit them into. So it didn't really bother me all that much, but also Oscar Isaac is amazing, so I'm biased.
Yeah, I think you are.
A little bit.
Him
and Pedro Pascal are my 2 favorites.
Who do you think? I will go away from Doctor Strange for a little bit, and then the last 5 minutes we'll do talk. We'll do spoiler talk.
Okay.
Who should be the new Black Panther?
My dad. No.
Oh, awesome.
My dad's dressed up as T'Challa multiple times for Comic-Con, so. And that was.
I love that your dad does Comic-Con.
And guess who got him into it? Because I went as Finn, or gender swapped Finn, with one of my friends from high school, and then my dad's like, "Well, I want to do that."
That's awesome.
So he went as T'Challa for several years in a row, and he loves it. He can't see shit out of his mask, so he bumps into people all the time. But when he bumps into people, they salute him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, "Oh, sorry, Wakanda forever. Oh, my bad, Wakanda forever." So I've walked the floor with him. It's so much fun. But I don't know, because that's a really. Oh, that movie's going to be so interesting to watch.
It's going to be sad.
It's going to be so sad because, they wrote it after he passed because I know that Coogler had written it with, Chadwick and Hopkins. Now there's no Chadwick, and that makes my heart sad.
I could so see them setting up Michael B. Jordan to be T'Challa.
Yeah, because
I
they're
could
writing
so
a whole
see it.
multiverse thing, and they're gonna bring him back to life. But I feel like that
I
does
don't,
a
you never
disservice
saw
to
him
his
die
character.
though. You never saw him die.
He
You saw
fell over.
the sunset.
His body just flopped. He didn't pass out.
He took a nap. He's fine.
No sleep. He's not good. No, I think I don't know. It's
Idris. What
gonna be
about
hard.
Idris?
It's gonna be really hard. I don't know.
What about Idris?
What about who?
Idris.
Isn't he also dead? I'm pretty sure Heimdall's dead.
Oh, I forgot he was a Heimdall.
Yeah.
For what?
MCU champ.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that.
I know my shit.
I wasn't questioning you.
There has been little mini side tangent. There's some white dude on the internet who goes around. I've seen it on TikTok and on YouTube and all that stuff. And he goes around and gives people like MCU related questions and quizzes. And I've been in one of his live streams before, and I asked him, I'm like, would you want to challenge me in an MCU match? He has no idea who I am. I have such an inflated ego about this. You have no idea. And he's like, only if you want to lose. So I'm like, if I ever meet that white guy in person, I'm going to challenge him to an MCU match, and I'm going to kick his ass.
Can you bring up what, Mr. Williams, can you bring up what Jimmy said? Because I don't even know what he's talking about anymore. Jimmy is used to talking to Legault about this stuff. Is Matt not there? Matt might not be there. Oh, there we go. Do you think this cosmic term will lead to Jack Kirby getting his due? Oh.
I hope so.
I
mean, like, because he helped, like, influence Marvel Comics, obviously, and obviously set up, like, the huge cosmic side of the MCU. So you got your, Kree Skrull War, you got your Civil War, you got Doctor Strange, and I think they should give him a little more credit. Not that Stan Lee doesn't deserve it, obviously, but, like, it took a village to get all these characters to the point where they are at now, and I think Stan Lee isn't the only one we should be honoring.
I think it's hard because he's always gotten the credit.
Yeah.
For people who aren't, comic book heads, they know Stan Lee. They know the name Stan Lee because it's so Marvel. Because but this is probably his chance because there's not the dearth of Iron Man and Captain America and Spider-Man and all the people that you associate with Stan Lee.
Oh yeah,
there are new characters coming out now, so I think that's a real possibility. What James said. I'm not saying that he's right. I'm saying that you're right. That he hopes so. Not James.
I just agree with Jimmy, who's also right. So.
No, he's not.
I also think like Stan Lee made it a point to meet his fans and to go to Comic-Cons. I know a couple of my friends from college have met Stan Lee in person and said how wonderful and graceful of a human being he was. So he made a point to get himself out there and get his name known. And I don't think a lot of other comics creators
do that
much.
It's marketing. What you got to do. So here's the question of all questions.
Okay.
Top 5 Marvel movies.
No.
Yes.
I had a dude on Tinder ask me this, and I still haven't gotten back to him. That was months ago.
Okay.
Granted, he's probably moved on, and that's fine. He should.
Mr. Caesar, namaste, brother.
Hi, Glenn. Top 5 Marvel movies. This is gonna take me months.
Well, next is top 5 comic book movies. So
they're probably gonna be MCU movies with the exception of Spider-Man 2 and Into the Spider-Verse.
We're gonna have to talk about your number 1 comic book movie because if you say anything other than Dark Knight, you are.
Oh yeah, it's in there. You know it is. I saw it in theaters with my brother and I cried. Just because it's so cool. Joker's so cool.
Of course he is. Thank you.
Well, Spider-Man and Joker were the two heroes, the one hero and the one villain that we grew up with watching. And the Green Goblin especially was another one we used to.
Oh, yeah.
So when color printers were a thing when they first came out, my brother and I had a prank that we were playing each other. And we'd print out a picture of the Goblin mask and hide it in various places in our bedrooms. Just because we're both psychopaths. And That was a we would hide it so it would look like he was peering out of your closet. We put it in the bathroom mirror in the morning, like dumb shit like that. And so we grew up with those kinds of characters, and we love them dearly. I haven't answered your question because
I know top 5 Marvel movies.
I know. Okay, Marvel or MCU specifically?
Whatever makes you happy.
A lot of things make me happy. Okay, so if we're going to MCU, in no particular order.
Nope. I want number 1 to be number 1. You're number 1. The rest I don't care about. Let me help you.
Okay.
I'll help you.
Because I have no idea.
In my top 5 in no particular order.
Oh, no, in order.
I don't know if I have them in order.
I definitely don't.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Blade.
Oh, okay.
Avengers, the OG Avengers.
Okay.
I consider Infinity War an Endgame 1 movie.
I don't disagree with that, but also I've watched them both recently, and I always go back, they switch in my head as which one I like more. But I think I've recently leaning into liking Infinity War better.
Really?
Just because it had a lot more to do. Wow. It had a lot more to do, and it was definitely not like any other MCU movie because it was a heist movie essentially, and our characters were not the main character. Thanos was, and I think the way that they pulled that off was immaculately done. So, Infinity War is up there.
My other one. I love. I would put Iron Man there probably, but I love James Spader.
Yes. Oh.
I love. A lot of people don't like Ultron. I love the Ultron.
I don't know why he's only done one of those because.
If he came back, that would be awesome. Like, I don't know if you watched the What If, but in the What If, I was like, that Spader. I was like, no. The guy
it's Ross Marquand, but it's like.
Who is it?
It's Ross Marquand. He did the voice of Red Skull in Infinity War because they couldn't get what's his dick to come back.
But he doesn't sound so exactly like Spader, but he sounds a lot like Spader. I was like, oh, okay. But I think those would be my 5.
He voiced the Ultron bots in Multiverse of Madness too.
Yeah, I could tell by the voice.
Yeah, but no, Infinity War is definitely up there. Black Panther. Yeah. And also because it's immaculate and it's the only MCU movie that's ever been nominated for Best Picture. I have the 3 Captain America movies in my head. I'm trying to decide which one I like the best.
Interesting.
Well, because Cap's my dude. He's my favorite.
Cap's your favorite?
Yeah, both Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers. I have. My best friend and I are obsessed with Cap and Bucky. I have a Cap and Bucky pin that just hangs on my lamp.
Ooh. Yeah. So how did you feel about Captain Britain or whatever she's called?
Captain Carter?
Yeah, her.
I love her.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I love Sam Wilson. I love that he became the new Cap, and I love that very much. My dad wants to go as him next year for Comic-Con. I think Winter Soldier is definitely in my top 5. It's so good.
It's good. But
it's good.
I like it the least probably.
I think the first Avenger is up there for my least favorite Cap movie because a lot of people also didn't like Civil War, but I love Civil War. But it was definitely Avengers 2.5. Again, one of those movies in the middle where it's just setting up a bigger story.
Yeah.
That's why it's slightly below Winter Soldier because Winter Soldier is I like it. It's probably in my top 5, definitely top 3.
What would be in your top 5 comic book movies that you haven't said?
Oh, well, I just covered the MCU.
Besides Dark Knight.
Days of Future Past.
I guess. It's good.
I like both those. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because not a lot of people give that movie enough love, even though it won a freaking Oscar. I really like the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, yes, of course.
I don't know why, but it's...
Lego Batman... Okay, so I said this before. Lego Batman has the best Joker Batman story of all.
I don't want to say it depicts their romance the best, but it depicts their romance the best.
It's the nature of their relationship.
It's so good, and it has one of my favorite lines ever said in a comic book movie. It's when Dick Grayson's talking. He's like, "My friend, my name is Richard, but some kids call me Dick." And then Batman goes, "Well, kids can be cruel." Fucking kills me every time.
Yeah, so I would have Dark Knight, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the Joker movie. I don't know. I wouldn't put it in my top 5. I'm a fan of Joker. I didn't like it the first time I saw it.
I don't like it now.
I like Joaquin's playing Joaquin, basically. Yeah. But I don't think he spent enough time playing the Joker.
No, because it's the story of how he became the Joker, but like also, the tone of the movie isn't what I'm used to, given my love for the MCU. So it really threw me for a loop. But I think it was well made. It was definitely well acted, and it was a really well shot movie.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like it's not in my top 5. It's in my top 20.
Mine too. I can see that. I also would put probably the Snyder Cut in there somewhere.
I've got to squeeze in those 4-5 hours.
It's so long.
I watched it after my second COVID shot because I could do nothing for the rest of the day because I was so tired and in pain. And I just sat in my bed, drugged out, watching it. It was good. I liked it.
The Batman. What do you think of the Batman?
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first started it, because I was braiding my hair because it's a 3-hour movie and I need roughly 3 hours to braid my hair. So I'm like, I'll just braid my hair and watch the Batman, no biggie. I take a break from MCU shit, you know. It took me like about 45 minutes to get into it. Because when I first started watching, I'm like, what the hell am I watching? I don't understand this. I don't like this. This is dumb. And then I think I'm trying to remember if it was the club scene or when he first was tracking down Selena. I'm like, okay, I'm mildly intrigued. Because you got to remember, it's Batman like year 2, basically. So he's not even Batmaning yet. He's a legend. He's a myth.
Right.
And I really liked how they played up the fear aspect of running into this dude in a dark alley. Because you don't want to fuck with Batman.
That was cool.
Like, that was... I liked that aspect. So it was good. Bring on more Pattinson. I can handle it.
He was too emo as Bruce Wayne.
Well, because he wanted to be Batman. He didn't give a
shit. He was
about
Batman the whole movie. He was Batman. Okay, of the 9, he was Batman 99.9% of the movie he was in.
Because he didn't care about being billionaire Bruce Wayne, looking hot and shit and dating girls.
I understand that, but you don't have to be in a dark corner brooding all the time.
You do if you're depressed about losing your parents.
Dark and brooding. I understand that. I get that. But he's dark and brooding the whole movie, and it's just like, all right, can we get a little break and a little bit of a break?
Yeah, it's levity, I think.
What'd you think of the Joker?
You already know. We're still talking Joaquin Phoenix, right?
No, the Joker from the new Batman.
Oh, that's a spoiler, my friend.
What do you mean?
Isn't it? Oh, you mean the Riddler?
No, I'm talking about they released a cut, unedited. They released an unreleased cut, edit, an unreleased scene. That's what.
At the very end of the movie.
I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about they released separately.
The little snippet where it's like 8 minutes long and he's having a conversation with him.
Yes, that's not a spoiler.
Oh,
they released it separately.
Sorry, it took me a minute to figure out what the fuck you were talking about. Yes,
you were talking about exactly what I was talking about.
I know, but I was trying to place it in my head. Brain not functioning on all cylinders today. Head cold. That's right. You know the drill. It's interesting because I just watched that same actor in Eternal, so I'm like,
right?
Excuse you?
Like that.
But like, I'm here for figuring out how he. I'm intrigued. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued.
Right?
But also, Barry Keoghan can get it. So it's like...
Okay.
He's cute! Don't judge me. I'm single.
No, I'm not judging you. He's not my type. I like it.
I do too.
It was interesting.
I'm really intrigued by what they do with it.
I love the whole Silence of the Lambs vibe. I like how he's doing homages to like these crime thriller kind of movies.
Like really classic, like Usual Suspects vibe, like, or not Usual Suspects. Seven. Yeah.
I like it.
Same actor, different movies. Yes. I'm into it. I'm intrigued by what they do with it. If they do
I want to
anything
see what
with
they
it.
do. I think the second one's gonna be good.
Bring back Battinson.
They agreed to the second one.
Make him more emo.
He's gonna do
Piss
3
off
movies. You know he signed a 3-movie deal, and then they'll drag it. What do you think about Ezra losing his mind?
Ugh. What a fucking idiot. Sorry.
Losing their mind.
Oh, yes. You got to use the right pronouns. Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes, using the right pronouns is important, but also, like, just get it together, man. Kids look up to you. Kids want to be your character for Halloween, and you're going to act a fool in Hawaii? Get your shit together, Ezra.
I think people get to a point when sometimes they can't. Not on their own.
No, they need help, but he needs more help than, alcohol and drugs can give him right now, even though alcohol and drugs don't really help.
But you also, when you're a movie star and stuff, you live in a fake world where people don't tell you that. I mean, you might have some people telling him that, but most people are like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever you know.
The people in his circle who are supposed to keep him on track are on vacation. They're on sabbatical. They're not doing their job.
Of course they are. Because as long as they keep bringing money in.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you want. You want the money.
I just think it's sad because, like, I love the character of the Flash. I watched the CW show all the time when I was in school, and it brought me joy. It made me happy. And they had a crossover, and Ezra came in to do a crossover for the Flash show. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. That a lot of kids are going to be really, really happy about that. Yep. And I see kids dressed up as the Flash all the time at Comic-Con, and then their main dude, their guy, is acting like a freaking moron and not acting like a human being and treating people with dignity and respect. Everybody has pink tongues. There's no reason why someone should be different than you because of the color of your anything or because they're a woman and you're going to choke her out and bring her to the ground. Like, what are you doing? I have opinions.
I see.
Being an idiot. It drives me nuts because I think if you're going to play a comic book character, you have some sort of responsibility to be a decent human being. And if he's not going to be a decent human being, he shouldn't have the part.
Got it.
So.
All right. So for the last 5 minutes, spoilers for Doctor Strange. If you haven't seen Doctor Strange, I would do the bye-byes now.
I love you.
To talk about Doctor Strange. We love you. We appreciate you.
Or what is the little, like, tiny heart thing? Someone did that to me the other day, and I thought they were flipping me off.
They gave you a little heart?
They gave me a little heart.
So, in watching the movie, spoilers are going to start in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler time. When we talked about, wouldn't that have been cool if Scarlet Witch fought Scarlet Witch at the end? I thought they were setting it up.
Yes, but also they said it in WandaVision. You can't outgun her. It's not possible. The only person that could bring her down is herself. Yep. So it's like, when America finally got control of her powers, and she's like, "I'm gonna give you what you want," and then she shows how freaky deaky she's gotten, how far down the rabbit hole she's been. That was the only way you could stop her. I think that makes total sense. A lot of people on the internet think it's dumb. I think it's brilliant. I think it's perfect.
I do think that you're setting up. Well, obviously, do you think she's really dead?
Hell no. No, not even a little.
You're setting up. She's gonna have to come back and help them with Kang.
Yeah.
And or Galactus or whoever's at an Avengers,
it's
universe war. Yeah, it's Kang right now.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. People have been saying that I remind them of He Who Not. Why are you laughing? People have said that his personality at the end of Loki and He Who Remains, people are like, that is so you, Achilles. And I've gotten confirmation from a bunch of people, so you can speak your mind.
I think I think if you got a costume together for Comic-Con and you dressed up as He Who Remains, I think you would get a lot of attention. That's what I'm gonna say. You do, though, a little bit. Because he's, like, eccentric and wacky and gives Loki and Sylvie shit, and you give me shit, and I think you do that well, and I think
so nice to you.
Yes, you have been. Recently.
But you didn't voice how you felt before.
That's true. See, the whole standing up for myself thing, the confidence thing.
And you're getting better at it. That's good.
A little bit. But yes, I do not fully disagree with their assessment of.
I think it's funny because
I think it's great.
When I watch it, I'm like, oh my god, he's out of control. But I was like, but I like it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I think if you dressed up as him for Comic-Con, people would lose their shit.
That would be cool. They'd be like, he's 6'5".
He's so fucking tall.
He's a big guy. What else did I want to talk about? What did you think of the different strangers?
Oh, okay. Am I the only one who loved like the rock element when they were using the Darkhold and they brought in like the electric guitar and like
the music fight?
Yes.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
As someone who reads music and can read music, I was giddy in my seat watching that. Just like, this is so fucking cool. I don't know how they did it, or like, it's just so different and it's so unique. And so, like, the tone of that movie, people are saying, like, oh, this movie has Sam Raimi written all over it. Yeah, it has a lot of Evil Dead, a lot of Spider-Man 2, a lot of, like, other stuff that he's done that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Right.
But the music fight, though, was...
It was pretty cool.
Stellar. It was so good.
It was interesting.
But, like, also, I like the different strangers. To answer your question, I thought it was really funny. So he's dreamwalking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's, like, kind of talking to himself out loud, but, like, when he's dreamwalking, he's talking to Wanda, obviously, and he's saying all the superhero cliche shit. But when he's up there, and he's... I cracked up laughing watching this, and his body is doing like one of those things. I laughed out loud because it was supposed to be funny. It was supposed to look weird as shit, and it was so funny.
Oh.
And I thought it was funny that Zombie Strange was the one that gave America the pep talk to use her powers, and
yeah, I was like,
been able to do it all along. And I'm like, this is so damn weird.
Very, very, very meta is the word I think people use for that.
Yes, but it's so good.
What do you think of the concept of dreams being your visions of your variants' lives? I thought that was so dope.
I have had weird dreams since then. I'm not even gonna lie. And like, I wake up very concerned and really confused because I never really thought of that before. Like, your dreams are your other selves just like living their best life, and you want that for them, obviously. But I had a weird ass dream the other night, and I woke up and I'm like, can you imagine for a second if that was my reality?
That'd be crazy.
Whatever Sina out there who lived my dream the other night, good on you, girl. Like, you do you. Because it was bizarre. And really, but I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I know I just woke up very concerned and very weirded out.
What universe of all the different ones, I shouldn't say universe, what character's world would you want to be in if you could be in any of them in the MCU?
Pizza balls.
Who?
Pizza balls.
Oh, not the different, not the different universes. Who, like Captain America's world or Black Panther? Like, whose individual movie world would you want to be in?
Oh, okay. Can I still say pizza balls?
Of course.
No, I think it'd be really cool to work and live in the TVA and like travel in time.
I could see you doing that.
Because I am an anxious being, as you know, and I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know my future. I want to know if I'm going to pass this test, if I'm going to get my portfolio done. I want to I want to know those things. I want to know if, I'll ever stop talking to random ass dudes on Tinder and Bumble.
You will when you start. When you just stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Like I need to know. So I think time hopping through the TVA would be something I'd be interested in.
He said the Guardians. Oh, interesting.
Not the Guardians. The
No,
TVA.
not you. No, somebody
The
said.
comments.
What? What was I going to ask you? Do you think who should have been in the movie that wasn't?
In Doctor Strange? They had a scene at the beginning, or they had a scene that they cut where 616 Mordo was going to approach Wanda and be like, hey, I'm here to take your power. And Wanda's like, no, the fuck you're not. And she literally beheads him. So, like, you find out much earlier in the movie that she's the villain instead of, like, finding out at the apple orchard, which I love that reveal so much more. But I would love to see 616 Mordo doing whatever Too Many Sorcerers thing that he's doing. I'm sad that he wasn't in the movie.
Fun times and good music. I do like how Wanda washed everybody. That was crazy. Like light work. I was just like, but I do think when they were in that I forgot the name of the place they were at, the Wizards hideout, hangout, Hogwarts, whatever.
Hermitage?
Yeah, that place.
Yeah.
Those were a lot of really good scenes.
Yeah.
Like the fights and the scenery, and that was really hard.
Her trying to weed out like one of the weak-minded ones and telling him to run.
Yep.
Ugh.
I'm telling you, when she came out the mirror, I was like, yo, that's dope.
There's a point where like they're trying to cover up all the reflections.
Yeah.
And you can see her eyeball looking up at Strange through one of them. I'm like, I hate everything about this.
But it's so amazing.
It's I don't mess with horror movies. I don't F with horror movies. So all the horror elements, like, I'm really glad I saw it during the day. And I have never been more stressed out coming out of an MCU movie than going into it. Because, like, avoiding spoilers on Twitter is like trying to, like, hide from bombs during World War II.
Like me waking up light skinned tomorrow. This just won't happen. Like, it's so hard.
Exactly. And it was, so I was already stressed going into it because I had read something about like Agatha being in it and her doing something major. So I had that mindset going into it.
Yeah.
It was something dumb ass YouTube comment pissed me off that I read it. So I had that. I'm like, okay, what's Agatha they're gonna do? She's gonna do something. She wasn't even in the damn movie.
No, I know.
So I'm like, what the shit?
Did you ever see Brightburn?
No, but I have seen bits and pieces of it. I heard it. No, wait, I think I have seen it. I watched it with my dad, but we had margaritas, so it was a little fuzzy. I'm not gonna lie. He fell asleep. Me and my mom did not.
Okay. I'm a big fan of Brightburn. I know Mr. Martinez does not care for it. He doesn't like he said he doesn't like the horror, that it was excessive. It was.
Yeah, but like also, damn.
But
they got away with a lot. Yeah. I think it was more like if Superman broke bad. That's the mindset I was going into it. And I'm like,
but he was only 14. I mean, teenagers are the worst anyway, but sheesh.
Agreed.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Last question.
Okay.
Favorite movie?
Period?
Period.
Oh, God. I've always said Ocean's 11, which is true.
Really?
I like that movie a lot. I like the heist aspect and the different twists and turns. Recency bias, if we're going to bring in like recent movies. Encanto lives rent-free in my head all the time.
I fell asleep during it. Not that it was bad. It was a good movie. I was just like...
I've watched it once by myself. I've watched it several times with my students. I subbed at a music class a couple weeks ago. Begrudgingly, I didn't want to take the sub job, but I needed to make copies of my study guide for my test. And the subplans for watching Kanto with the kids. I'm like, yes, let's go.
I love it.
So I love that movie a lot too. But yes, I love the Ocean's movies. Mostly Ocean's 11, but yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
All right, Candor, we did it.
We did it.
We did it. I have to have you come back on. We're going to talk about Brightburn after you see it again and remember it.
I remember the end and how unsettling I felt. That's how I felt about coming out of Doctor Strange. Like, it was nothing that I anticipated. It was nothing I anticipated, but everything that it could have been, if that makes any sense. I've been trying to figure out how to word that phrase, because
when he dropped his mama, I was like, oh, that's savage. Super savage.
Yes.
And I like that it didn't have a good guys win ending, because there was no way. There was no way to really him.
No, there's no redeeming him. He did some dank shit in that movie. Like, oh my God.
He did his uncle super dirty.
Yes.
Exactly when he broke his jaw.
I'm glad I had a beverage going into it, because I don't think I would have been able to handle that.
Have you seen The Sopranos?
Yes.
The Wire?
Yes.
Game of Thrones?
No.
I never watched it either. All right, so if you had to choose between, I'll put there in a Game of Thrones world,
okay,
The Wire world, or Sopranos world, which one would you want to live in?
Sopranos.
Why? Everybody chooses Sopranos.
Because they have really good Italian food, and I love Italian food.
I'm not gonna. That's great logic.
And because I'm a straight gangster.
You are a straight gangster.
Yes, 100%.
All right, Miss Sina Bigelow, I thank you for tuning in to Everyday Experts and joining
Of course.
us. You stay after we go. I believe it's June 5th or June 9th. My friend Shalisha's coming on. She is just got her RN degree. We're going to be talking to her. That'll be fun.
Congrats.
Right?
Nursing 19th. Is hard. You have to do a lot of science and math.
Nurses
something I'm not very good at.
Nurses do like 80% of the work.
Yeah.
That's a lot. June 19th, my other friend is coming on. She runs a postpartum and prenatal massage clinic kind of thing that she just started. So, June's looking busy. And at some point, I'm going to have Sophia back on to discuss her newest book. She finished her second book.
Yay!
At 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lord. Yeah. I haven't even written my first one.
That's all right. We'll work on that.
I'm kidding.
Thank you for coming on today, Miss Bigelow. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Again on your bevy of achievements.
I'm going to get it right this time.
Celebrate yourself.
Here we go.
Be an anomaly. Joker out.